thing. Oh, I think we're streaming. It says end stream. Come on, let me in.
Come on, YouTube, work.
Well, do you know how I would find a live stream?
We're live.
You see it? On YouTube? I don't. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Where do you... Let me go back to our channel.
I am now logged into our YouTube. I logged out so that I could look at it, and it's showing, so we're live.
But is it... And we're live in our... Oh, we are live. Oh, now there's one person watching. You.
Yay, Eric, welcome.
Hey. Hey, there's two people watching now.
Yes. So welcome to Let's Play Theology. I'm Arian.
I'm Eric.
And this is episode 2, so you will recognize our lovely city that's already on your screen. Let me slow this down. Eric and I off screen did some traffic management, because that's boring and nobody wants to watch that.
By traffic management, you don't mean website traffic management. You mean in the game.
In the game, we just adjusted some roads and like worked on curves and lane stuff. And it's boring. Nobody, there's whole videos dedicated to that. If that's your thing, but that's not what we're doing in the game. So we didn't figure you guys really would enjoy watching that. But if you do, go ahead and comment. Maybe we'll go back to traffic management.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yay, traffic management.
Wait, there's 3 viewers now. There's somebody else.
Eric's having such a good time tracking this.
Well, I'm
What's our numbers
a
now?
nerd. I'm a nerd.
Comes from a numbers nerd world. So I'm going to cover right off the bat that we had 3 districts, and we asked for people to submit names for our 3 districts for what are currently called strawberry districts, really thanks game, Primrose Square and Willow Heights, and we asked for name suggestions. And we had one person message us specifically say that we should name them something to do with the principles or something to do with the sources. And this person is a Unitarian Universalist, and so they knew what those things were, and I kind of went, oh, Eric and I never talked about those. That's sweet.
No, we named one street. It was called Ward. Was it called Ward Avenue to begin with? And so I came up with Julia Ward Howe, who was a Unitarian poet in the 1800s.
Yeah, so we thought it would be, that we were maybe a little remiss in not talking about, I guess, theoretical sources. I don't know, Eric, what do you think of the suggestion?
Depends on the intent of what the suggestion was. If we named each of them after a source or a principle, it would be a very long name, because just calling it the first source wouldn't tell people what source it was if they didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, we only have 3 right now. I think we get a buy on this week, because I'm a little low key, recovering from the second dose of COVID vaccine yesterday. So lots of Tylenol and Powerade if you see me drinking it, because I'm trying to ward off the side effects.
And I got my second dose on Thursday. Well, America's Thursday, not Friday. But I still think we could probably name these thematically after the principles. One of them.
We could. They won't be exact, because that would be a really long name for a neighborhood, basically. But we could name it like
For those who don't know, our principles and what our principles and sources are. Our sources are the primary theology that we draw our belief system from, and the principles are the ethical way that we live into the world. Theoretically based off the sources, I would say. For many,
Yeah.
potentially, we stand alone. But the sources
Not 7. There is an 8th principle. It just needs to be ratified by the UUA quickly.
So, anywho, that's what the sources and the principles are. The sources tell us, or help us in our quest for what we believe and grappling with the theology of it. And the principles are the way that we live in the world. Ethical set of guys.
Yeah. I'm not going to be looking anything. So if you ask me to like quote something or, list off a principle from memory, which I can get close, but not even close enough for the purposes of naming a whole neighborhood, I am not going to be touching my computer because it's the one handling the stream and I don't want anything to crash.
Okay. So I'm not going to, I don't think that the intent was to verbatim name them after them.
No, but like the first principle might be named, I don't know, Respectville or something.
The inherent worth and dignity of
Or,
every person.
yeah.
Yeah.
It starts with respect. Respect for the inherent worth.
Yeah, respect for the inherent worth and dignity of every person. I don't know how you would capture that in a neighborhood name, but I kind of think it would be a fun thing to do.
Respectville or respect, I don't know.
Worth Square.
Respect them all. Like, can I say the word Pokemon without breaking copyright?
Get us in trouble? I don't know.
Respect them all.
You know what? I don't know. Respect is good, but it's not actually in the source or in the principles.
Yes, it is. Respect for the inherent.
Worth and dignity.
I thought it started with respect, or did I get that wrong?
I don't believe it actually does.
Oh, and then never mind.
Yeah, it's the inherent worth and dignity of every person.
Man.
I have the bylaws. This is so nerdy. I have the bylaws printed in there behind my screen, so I can actually look at them.
Okay.
Which
You do that, because I'm not touching my computer.
I get you. I get you. So what would you think? You think
Name it whatever you want.
let's just go with inherent worth and dignity? We're so nerdy. Worthy Square. That's a good one.
Oh, Worthy Square. I like that.
Worthy. WORTH.
Oh, it should be like all worthy. Why? Like
Ooh.
all worthy, but like lowercase w with no space. So it's like one word, and then it doesn't even make sense. But it's like a name instead of.
So wait, is that how you want it?
I can't see. There's a white square over it. That's your mouse. That's your mouse. It doesn't show up as a mouse thing. Yeah, that's perfect. All worthy
Alright.
square. It actually sounds like somebody's name, like
Allworthy.
Allworthy.
Last name.
Allworthy.
But Allworthy.
Uh-huh.
That's a fun one. What do we got here? And then we got Willow Heights. What do you want to name Willow Heights?
I don't know. Well, where? How can I look? Okay, I'll take a look here. Yeah.
So while Eric's thinking about that, we had somebody comment about the difference between morals
And ethics.
and ethics. And Eric and I actually had a whole conversation.
We were arguing about it last time. That's what they watched it, and they, we wished they were here, and that they could comment, and we could have a live comment stream of their disagreement with whichever one of us they mostly disagreed with, but I suspect it was both. Yeah, we were having that argument.
Yeah, the idea being that, and Eric and I, we talk about things all the time. It's an ongoing thing. And when you use a word like morals and ethics that has been argued about since humans were humans, you draw upon the things that you value as a person. And Eric and I come at the word moral differently. For me, morals, because I come from an anthropology and an education background, morals are the internal voice. And you live out your morals through your ethics. You live out your morals suggestion, I was talking about the things inside of me, both conscious and unconscious biases, that informed the choices I was making in the game. And the person apparently thought morals makes you a good person or a bad person. I don't know.
We actually define it the same way. I would agree 100% with what you said. That morals are what happen inside of us, and ethics are the lived experience in the outside world. And so it was probably just a semantical. I'm not going to use any bad words, but it was just a semantical argument during the playing of the game as I was listening and watching the game being played, and not thinking deeply about it. But yeah, I don't know really what the comment was about.
We don't know, but we were trying to answer it because we feel it's appropriate. So, do you have a suggestion other than this?
Yeah, interdependence heights. We're going to work from the outside in.
Oh.
So we're going to go with the seventh principle.
Yep, the seventh principle, the interdependent web.
And we're not going to go sources initially because, man,
We're not ready.
we're not ready for that. We'll just handle the principles right now when our town is small.
Interdependent heights.
I think interdependent heights. Okay.
Well, it's interdependent.
Well, I know, but I was going to change it up a little bit. Like, Allworthy is not in the first principle either. We've already thrown that out.
Interdependent heights. I kind of like it as interdependent.
Okay.
Either way. Okay. All right. So we are having a trash problem, Eric. Our landfill is full.
Already?
Yeah.
And have incinerators opened up yet? Or no, we got to get to like 12,000 or something.
Nope, they've not. They opened up at 7,500.
Oh, we're getting close. So, you know what I would do? I would place another landfill and we'll just empty it, and as soon as incinerators are available. That's what I tend to do.
Yeah, me too. Why do we do that? Well, because in the game, incinerators generate power and they're less dirty than landfills.
Well, they're smaller, although they do create air pollution versus, like, it's all this, actually air and ground pollution, I think, are the same thing, right? There's actually no difference in the game.
They are, except that their pollution footprint is smaller because they themselves are smaller.
The incinerator.
So you see, like, this is our pollution, which is always horrible for me to look at. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
You know, we could convert over to just doing farms and forestry. I heard from somebody that actually is working in their city.
It only works because you're still importing the stuff. That's the thing. So this is that question, right? All right. I don't know if it's moral or an ethic here. We joked about our earlier reference. So, what does it mean that you're basically just importing something back to that interdependent web that already caused pollution in its creation somewhere else? This is a real world conversation. This is the idea of I call it the tennis shoe dilemma.
Yes.
We can't make tennis shoes in the United States because it is being deemed by the environmental groups, which I agree with, but that it produces pollution, right? A pollution that never goes away. It's permanent pollution. So then the United States said, well, that's bad. We're not going to make tennis shoes, specifically the soles of tennis shoes, here in the United States because of that pollution. But we still import tennis shoes. So we're buying the tennis shoes, and it's just polluting somewhere else. We're all on the same planet. Like, I still don't get that. Like, I mean, it's just a weird one. Eric, I would love it, seriously.
So in the real world, that is a problem, right? Offshoring pollution to other countries, whether or not it's exporting recyclables, or exporting manufacturing capability with high polluting industries.
Yeah.
And in the game, it doesn't matter as much. And that, again, it's like, but if, so what you're saying is, what you're proposing is we're not going to go with green industries because it would be unethical to offshore our polluting industries to other cities that we never see in this game. That's the other. In this game, you never actually learn about the effects of what you do on another city. There actually is not an interdependent web in this game.
Yeah, this is the question. Do we play the game as the game, or do we simply state, well, we don't see it, so it doesn't affect us?
Well, the goal would be in the real world to develop technologies that allow for the manufacturing of things like sports shoes, otherwise called sneakers or what have you, that are high polluting items, and figure out less polluting ways of making them so they could be made anywhere. That would be one solution, which does not exist in this, unless we make the assumption that as we get to the point that we can turn on lower polluting industries, that's part of it.
Could be. Could be. I mean, I don't know. This is one of those things that we could probably talk about it 15 different times, 15 different answers. I would love to hear what other people think. I'm gonna put it out there and see if anybody comments.
Well, given that two of the viewers, I believe, are us on our phones.
Oh, I'm not viewing on the phone.
Oh. Given that there are potentially two people viewing, but again, I don't want to crash this by trying to figure out how many people are viewing, but nobody's commenting at this point, and I have the live chat open, so.
And that's okay. It's totally fine.
So we have a lot of pollution. That's the net of what you were just saying, and I see a lot of traffic there in the lower left-hand corner of the screen.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of traffic on it. Let me see if that's a yield or not.
No, that's a yield. And the intersection's full. It's got to be a yield.
Use a one-way yield or one-way.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to figure that out.
I think we're gonna need but we're gonna need some more roads at some point to disperse traffic a little more evenly around the map.
You're right. Right now.
So what is it asking us to build? Oh, it's asking us to build more industry and some commercial.
So one of the things that we could do that would actually help fix this is we have a bottleneck, right?
We do.
We can just take this road and turn it into a T intersection. But it works. And give it another outlet. So how do you propose we do that? Or I was doing a lot of the driving
Well-
last week. I want to make sure.
Well,
you
let's.
understand.
Oh, I will. Oh, I just got an alert. It must be. It's 4:07, and I just got the alert from YouTube that our live stream is on. Okay, it's only 7 minutes late. I think that we need to get people. So all of the bottleneck is happening because everyone's going over to interdependent heights.
Okay.
I'm on there, but someone is watching, and there's I don't think we're on the posted stream.
I don't think we are.
Let me send a message. So I think we need to put our intersection. So where you've got the overpass that's just north of the river. At that point, remember, I think you made it too tall, and we can go underneath that through the windmills and maybe over to interdependent heights. And so some of the traffic will come in from the south side of town.
Oh, you're wanting to take it over here.
I think that's because there's where are they going to go if we put more up there?
I was going to go this way and over our mountain.
Yeah, but they're all going into interdependent heights. They're already driving that way, so we need to somehow get them into interdependent heights.
Is it okay, so let's hold on. This is always so fun.
Well, right there.
Well, yeah, this is a 90-degree angle.
Well, okay, so we could go from the base of the bridge or the start of the bridge. We could go over to that V-shaped intersection. I know you don't like tons of intersections, but right now that'll offload some of the traffic. And you're going to make it a yield anyway, so it's not like people aren't going to be just entering the intersection willy-nilly.
What we could do is although we don't really enjoy this, but we could come off here and just connect it to the Albury Square. What's going on now, the reason I was going to go to the industrial intersection is what I think is actually happening, that because this traffic, Eric, is all aiming toward this area except for the trash trucks, is that changing where the people go versus the commercial traffic, because a lot of this looks like commercial traffic.
Yeah.
But it's commercial traffic mixed with people.
Yeah.
So finding a way to separate the people
Well,
from the industry traffic.
that would be my little road. I was just you could do we don't have off ramps yet, do we?
Yeah, we do.
You could do an off ramp from the bridge down to the V intersection there, and that would be people going into the neighborhood of houses versus people going into the commercial district on the right hand corner that you don't like.
Try it. I'm game. This is a right-hand drive. My brain is struggling with. So, my big game has been left-hand drive. So this lately, because I'm living in Japan, so it's just been this sort of ongoing joke that I make between a left-hand drive city.
All right, let's see here.
It's been throwing me off to do this.
Yeah.
Do right-hand drive again.
I thought about starting a city with left-hand drive just to see what happens, and I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
All right, nobody's going yet.
About unconscious bias simply by trying to do that than I ever could have in a classroom. The things that I do automatically.
Oh, there we go, our first car.
Oh man. No, 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 no. Sorry, you cannot turn here. Right. It's for the right-hand lane only.
Well, they're going to start using it as a shortcut. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Oh, look at all of that. Oh, good. That's what's supposed to...
As long as it's not commercial.
Well, some of it is. Some of it is, but it's still going to... Some of them will go... Are they any of them going to go straight? They're all turning right now.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is we just created... This is what I mean when I say you chase... You end
Oh,
up chasing
I know.
something.
I know.
The implication being that anytime you do anything,
Yeah, you create more downstream problems. Different problems. It's still going to have some effect. It's got to, because there is that whole road up there that's got tons of...
now empty. Because it's all right here now.
No, the lines are equal. Let's see what happens with the two lines of cars to the left of that cross street. See how where those two identical buildings are around the orange framed building? The lines of cars stretch back approximately equally. There are still cars going both directions. So let's see which line gets longer, and then we know where the problem is.
So I just want to go ahead and welcome anybody who's joining us on Facebook. So we're simulcasting to Facebook.
Oh, we are? Oh, we're live on Facebook. I see that now. Mark Zuckerberg's probably watching this going like, wow.
What are they doing?
Their stream is really addressing the pressing problems of the world. The Zuckerberg initiative should fund their live stream.
Yeah, okay. So the problem with traffic is that
Okay.
now
No, I don't think it's a problem. Go back. What's happened is it takes a minute for it all to filter through. Go back up to the top.
I'm fixing our yields.
No, what I'm saying is I think the problem's fixed. There's no longer a giant line of cars at that intersection where you said, oh, we've just shifted the problem.
No,
Like,
we're still here.
no, that's on the other side of the road.
Yeah, but it's them getting out now. It's the same problem.
No, it'll look at what's our traffic percentage. We didn't look before. That was a mistake.
79.
That's not bad. Let's see if it goes up. Okay, but notice that the red thing is, we don't have an on-ramp over there. We can shift traffic around. If you go over there and you make an on-ramp, it will get rid of some of that traffic that's trying to make that two right turns to get back to the freeway. This is my...
We need to address a few issues, but sure, we can do that.
I'm just saying, it's been working. Having like 80 on-ramps to support one intersection works.
We do have our traffic set on E.
Oh, it says everyone's waiting. So I don't understand what's going on. It says two others waiting, apparently. Is there anyone... is anyone viewing? We can't tell right now. Okay. Yeah, we have no participants. How do we... I've never done a YouTube live stream before.
Me either.
Concurrent. Yeah,
You
we're.
have
I don't know what yet.
figured out?
No, well, I'm working on it. But I am watching it. I'm watch. Oh, you know what? I can see. I'm in there on a phone.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the chats popping up, and I am not logged in
Gotcha.
as me, which I shouldn't say. But
I don't know.
oh, and when I open up YouTube on this phone,
I don't know.
oh, we're about to get feedback. Oh,
Oh.
and when I open up
It's not
YouTube on
fun.
this phone.
Oh, it didn't. It didn't. I hate that when feedback doesn't work.
Oh, wait. I'm logged in here as the UU Daily Minute. That's the problem. When I open up YouTube on this phone.
Oh, it didn't. It didn't. I hate that when feedback doesn't work.
Oh, wait. I'm logged in. Yeah, hang on. I'm trying to get it to stop. Ah. Okay, turn off the volume. Oh,
Bear
boy.
with us as we figure this out. I appreciate everyone who's attempting to tune in or who's amused by us at the very least.
Well, when they watch the recording, because this does record, we hope. It'll record on Facebook if nowhere else.
That's true. That's true. But we already talked about the principles and sources before we went live on Facebook. Fail.
No, we were live, but no one was actually watching. So I'm in. Okay, let's see if I can.
You know what, Eric? I'm gonna go ahead and extend that road anyway if we need it.
You go. I don't. Yes, we'll need it eventually.
Okay. So while Eric's doing tech issues, I'm gonna extend our road here so that we have another outlet from our neighborhood that's actually an outlet, not just a oh, I'm fixing that intersection problem. You know, I think again, think about real cities and think about
Oh.
okay, so they don't like to bottleneck their traffic, and that's the point. Is you don't want to like. Oh, did I just disconnect the power line? I did. Oops. That's okay. We'll fix it. What this will do is it gives the industry, hopefully, in theory, our industry an outlet to get to these people. And I know there's a 90-degree turn over there. I can hear my husband in my head going, "Why did you do that?"
Let's see if I can see.
So I'm just going to use the traffic management tool here. I love City Skylines. I haven't seen a suggestion yet from anybody for another game we can play and look at it and learn what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist or what it means to have a liberal theology here around the world. So if anybody has any other game suggestions.
Well, the pro would like to participate,
Oh,
and he wants
pro
he,
gamer.
yes, and he has said that he would like to play Minecraft on the channel. Which again, I am working on a curriculum. Like you'd figure, it better be a good thing to play in this style of let's play with liberal theology. Given that I'm writing a whole curriculum around it.
That's a true statement. That's an absolutely true statement. Is that, yeah, there's a
Oh,
we interact with the world more and more through video games. So why aren't we having more conversations around what it means to be a good person and to live into our world the best we can using video games as that lens? Like it just makes sense to me. I don't know. I know that that's not very academia of me, I guess, but I feel like that's more real. Sometimes you're going to hear that from me. Like, what's more real or what's more academic? And I know words matter, but at the same time, I'm also more about the theme or the intent of something. We say often in our group covenants, we say things like assume best intention. Well, this is kind of what this is about. I'm working to assume best intention.
sorry, I was trying to get somebody onto the live stream.
Oh, okay.
So no, the scheduled one is not working. So we blew that.
Sorry, but that's okay. People can find us, and we'll share the recording, and they can talk about it. But like to get us a little back on track. We're a little off here.
Yeah. Absolutely. So other games we could play.
Suggested by our pro gamer, who I adore.
Yeah, he'll participate. He said. I said he would have to talk about things, and he's like, "What kind of things?" We have a whole bunch of PlayStation 4 games that could be played and streamed. We have that. We have. Well, I mean, it's not like other people don't have PlayStation 4s.
Yeah, I just don't like. That's such a different setup for me.
Okay.
I'll handle the PC games.
Okay. Well, Minecraft will be on PC. So there we go. What else do we have? I don't know.
Need of a neighborhood or...
Another one?
Yeah, the thing is, so here's the reason I haven't suggested a neighborhood over here.
Because that's an oil field.
Or. That's or.
Oh, that's or?
Yeah.
There could be a nice neighborhood along the waterfront there.
Oh, it's too close. Or is highly polluted.
Or, no pun intended, really, there was not. Or we could buy a new tile, which is under this style of gameplay with neighborhoods and not densely packing things in, we need to buy a new tile.
Okay, we can go. I'm game.
Which direction you want to go? Other side of the highway there?
Oh, I was going to go this way.
Are there any...
Go this way?
It's a lot. Is it? We can't see, of course, because you can't zoom in on a tile you haven't bought.
Nope.
It looks like, well, either way we get forestry. It doesn't look like we have farming on the tile to the left.
Yeah, we do. It's that.
Is that farming for sure?
Yeah, that's agriculture.
That one has a lot of room. I mean, the problem is it's not going to have room for housing. Well, it will around the edges of the fairly clean industry.
You tell me.
Oh, come. Okay.
I watched our last video and I laughed because I made all the decisions. So I'm trying to
We're gonna go to the left and we're gonna convert over to green industries. I'm sorry. We're gonna get our tennis shoes made elsewhere.
Okay, there we go.
We're gonna stop polluting so much. Because here we can, so we have room along the waterfront to build a bunch of houses. We also have, and I know you want to build a mine, but look at that. That's a lot. And how much? Well, we'll see what it calls for. We actually don't need housing right now. What we need right now is more industry.
Let's see what happens. But yeah, we do need more industry. But the answer is, do we want to do the or? Which I don't even know if that's unlocked yet, or do we want to do the agriculture?
Is it unlocked?
Or is not unlocked yet?
Is agriculture and forestry?
Agriculture is not unlocked.
Forestry.
Why is it not working? Oh, I have to draw the district. Hold on.
Oh.
My silliness.
Yes.
So let's just.
Let's look at ore right now because that's far away. It's a quick.
So how this game works is that you have to draw a district specifically for these primary industries.
And you can expand it later. Like you could draw a very small district and make decisions
Always
later.
make it bigger, always make it smaller. That's great.
There it is.
Yep. Now we can do or.
Oh, you don't have to. So in the PlayStation version, you have to select what kind of district it's going to be, and then you place your industry, and it automatically becomes that kind of industry. So it's a little bit different.
You draw the industrial district.
Yeah.
And then you place the main building, and that tells it what kind it is.
Yeah, you basically you can put regular industry in a district. You have to select a different regular industry that says I'm not special industry, but I am going in a district and I am industry. So it's just a little different.
That's a good tip for people who play this on a PlayStation, because I don't. So playing it on the PC has.
Yeah, this will teach you all the wrong stuff for getting it right on a PlayStation. I did learn how to build overpasses and underpasses though, because I'm apparently not actually very good at video games, and I never figured that out. I was trapped on one side of a highway.
That's terrible, and I'm sorry. So there's our main building. And when you first start out, of course, like anything, you're low tech until you.
Oh, this is different too.
Oh.
So you don't draw districts. You place specific industries or specific buildings. No, I'm asking.
Okay, so what? Yeah. So what happens is you control it. So look, each of these tabs is its own thing. So this is the ore.
Yeah.
So I have a main building, and then when you first start,
Oh.
the only thing you have. It's yelling at me about power. The only thing you have is the small ore mine, where they're basically just scraping the top of the surface.
Yeah, different on the PlayStation.
Yeah. So I am of the opinion. I told you my 10-issue theory that we should make, and eventually theoretically, we should make what we're gonna make and try to make it as clean as possible and take care of our own mess, but trying to ship our messes off to other people. So I feel strongly that you should.
What you're saying is, if you want tennis shoes, you have to live with the consequences.
Yeah, I kind of like them. You tell me, is that one a moral or an ethical? It's ethics and morals, both, but.
They're not. That's not how. I don't think that's how it works.
How do you think it works?
You make the ethical decision to do something. Your morals inform how you make the decision. The inside, what it is that motivates you internally, forces you into a particular ethical stance. There we go. All right, comments below. No one's commenting because people are playing it back though. So I don't know I think people are not watching it live is what's happening.
Oh, okay, I'm not worried about it. We're just gonna keep going.
Yeah, but we got to figure out this live thing because it'd be fun to have conversations and.
Yeah, it's conversation builds community. And
Absolutely.
there's nothing good.
We still need more industrial buildings. So if you want to build a couple more.
The problem is, Eric.
Yeah.
That we don't have enough workers for our current building.
Well, let's go build some more housing. And you know what? I don't care. Well, I don't care which side of the river we do it on, but there is a nice one like right nearby, so people don't have to commute as far. Are they willing to live with a little bit of pollution if they don't have to commute for 3 hours?
Oh, no, we're out of power.
What's our?
Still only have. Oh wait,
What's that?
we got our first geothermal.
Where do we have a good spot for that?
No, but we can find one in the industrial area.
Well, I mean, does it work anywhere?
Yeah.
Oh,
Geothermal. Once it's in the grid, it's in the grid.
that's an expansion I do not have.
Oh, okay. The geothermal, as you see here, it makes power. It doesn't make a ton of power, and it takes up a weird shape. But
80 megawatt. It's not bad. 80 megawatts.
it only makes noise pollution.
That's pretty awesome. Just don't put it near somebody's house.
Yeah, because they get sick. What happens in this game is when you're near pollution, whether it's noise pollution or whether it's actual pollution, your citizens get sick and then they die.
I heard windmills give you cancer.
Not in the game.
I was joking. That was.
I wasn't gonna address it. Blink, what?
Okay, so we need houses.
Yes, and we have you were right in the sense that we have this whole spot right here that I didn't even put houses in.
It's a place to start.
Yeah. I'm trying to talk Eric into getting back on Steam so he can run the game next time.
Yeah, the problem with that is we'll end up with a giant grid system, which you don't want.
I'm okay with you building a neighborhood in your grid.
My new system works. Actually, I have a way that apparently works. I have to refine it a little more.
We'll turn you loose on a neighborhood.
We're gonna have but so now we're gonna have more traffic problems. We're gonna have to build some more crosstown bridges and. Maybe we have to connect the south side. Well, now you keep rotating. So right now it's the north side of Independent Heights to the town across.
Yep. I think you're right, and I think we should do it like this for now. I'm gonna say this road is gonna need to be adjusted later, but I don't.
I just widen it right now.
Well, I can't really just widen it because I want to build around it. Like I'd like to take, ideally,
Just run a road behind it then.
that's what I want to do.
There we go.
Because this is highway. You can't have commercial on it.
Wow, nice. Makes them very unhappy apparently.
Yeah, they don't.
It's noisy.
And even the commercial people are like.
All right, we need
Why
some
connect
on
the
ramps.
roundabout?
Oh.
What do you want to do, Eric? You want on ramps?
Well, I don't think we can fit a roundabout there.
Oh, I can fit a roundabout there.
Then go for it.
All right.
Oh boy. Oh, I see. You're just. How about hitting pause? It just converts it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some kind of mystical mod or something.
It's not mystical.
Nothing in the PlayStation version converts. You can upgrade roads, but you cannot magically turn a set of roads into a roundabout.
You can do a lot of magic and stuff with this. I think most people play it. The reason they play it on the PC is because you have all this additional.
Yeah, here's the thing. If I get it on the PC, I'm going to have the vanilla version still, and we're going to be right back to square one that I won't be able to actually play the map that you've created here.
Why? Because I can send you all the mods.
I don't think I just magically get the mods without paying for the ones you have to pay for.
Okay. So
The expansions.
What do they call it? Yeah, the expansions and the DLCs cost you money. The mods are free on Steam's Workshop. One of the things I like about Steam is that they give you access to sort of fun, like it's community work. And I like things that promote community. I just do.
Yeah.
And the idea that, like, oh man, I'm gonna blank. But the people who designed this game.
What did you just build there? Why does the highway do that?
I don't know, because I'm having fun. Because I was trying to avoid making a 90-degree turn. My husband makes fun of my 90-degree highway turns, and he's right. Highways don't do that, but Arian's highways do.
And it makes a difference in the game?
He says it does, that they slow down, and
Okay.
I believe him. He's what is it? He's wicked smarter than I am. Now this is where, Eric, I might just, I have no idea.
Put a roundabout in.
I can't do just a roundabout randomly.
Well, are there highway roundabouts or no?
Yeah, every roundabout we have right now is a highway roundabout.
Well, so why not just put a roundabout there at the exit? Oh, because is there enough room there after the overpass that's just to the north of that? Do you get what I'm saying?
I get. Oh, you mean like right here?
No, further south. Yep.
Here?
Is there?
That would cause a lot of problem.
Okay. So this is going to be an overpass with on ramps and off ramps.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to complete the loop and connect it over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there. And we'll put some on ramps and off ramps and stuff and go from there. That's a mess.
So that is all highway that rings this particular portion of the city.
Yeah, it rings the tile basically.
Okay. And where are we at? Oh, we need more industry. We are falling behind. Although we're not playing on fast, we're playing on fairly slow, like one arrow.
So this is the problem too with like later you guys won't see all the traffic because I'm going to be realistic with you. Eric and I'll chase traffic's boring. So I will chase traffic later. Like some of this I'll probably come in and fix some of our roads and then just be like, I fixed the roads because I don't think anybody's interested in that. Eric, your thoughts?
Yeah, but I'm just like watching, like, where are you going to attach all of this?
Oh, I'm not going to go too crazy right now because this is just getting it going here.
So what kind of, like, we've talked about offshoring polluting industries.
Yes.
That has to do with the whole point of this live stream. What else are we going to talk about that has anything to do with uh, anything to do with just not just playing the game?
I have a ton of stuff, but at the same time, one, I feel like I dominate the conversation sometimes, and two, I I gotta figure out like another way to describe it because apparently my description of
Of what?
what motivates me to like my morals.
Yeah, one person who commented.
Well, yeah, I just I anytime I how about this?
Oh,
I talked
yeah.
about a little bit about my unconscious biases and how I was shocked that I got caught in them with left-hand drive. So I built a city because we moved to Japan. So I'm living in Japan. My husband and I live here now for now. And my face keeps going on. My husband and I live in Japan. I built a left-hand drive just because I thought it would be fun. Guess what? That doesn't just because I'm driving on the left-hand side now
Mm-hmm.
does not erase the fact that my brain still thinks about right-hand drive as the priority, as the thing. So when I built that city, I built highways on the wrong side. I placed important buildings in the wrong location. It was literally the working definition of an unconscious bias showing itself to the world. And it made me sit back and go, I wonder what other unconscious biases I'm displaying in this game. Then Eric and I already talked about the education. Subconsciously, I value education in a different way. I wasn't valuing traffic in the beginning because I didn't really understand the need for it. Then when I sat back and I said, the people who are paying taxes in my city deserve good traffic
As much as a good education.
as much as a good education. They deserve to have their lives as easy as possible. So then when I bought other expansions and I bought my mods, so DLCs and mods, when I added mods, the mods were designed, I was like, I'm doing mods so that I can help my people have a better little simulated life. Because I believe in the relationship between politicians or people who are in authority positions, governing bodies of any variety, whether that's a governing body of a church or whether that's a mayor of a town or city council member. I believe that it is their responsibility in that position to do what's best for the people they're serving, not their own selfish needs. So this is where conversations around unconscious bias come very alive in this game.
Well, yeah.
Any of that you want to talk about, Eric? But
That's a giant topic.
I really deeply thought about this stuff.
Well, I mean, that's true about everybody. Everyone carries unconscious bias with them, right? Is that a one-way highway that you built?
Yeah. I built it off ramp and on ramp from our group, and I'm just gonna leave it.
Oh, I know, but it is one way. It's not like that's a center line in the middle of it. If you zoom in.
Yeah, it's one way. You can build a national road, but they.
No, it's two-way.
No, it's one way.
No, look at it. There's a car going that way.
Well, yeah, it's 2x2. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about my on ramp.
It's a 4-lane, 2-direction highway.
Yep.
Okay, so it's not as controlled access as the other highways in the game. Okay.
Yes, this is called a 4-lane national highway.
Okay, but not an interstate.
Not an interstate.
To put it in American terms.
Old school highway. I like these as my inner city highways.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Again, and then what I thought you were talking about is you can put this road in, which is called a national road, which is basically an on-ramp in each direction. Very dangerous. Seems sketchy to me.
I have not actually seen any car crashes in the game ever, though. Are there? Do they
No,
have?
I don't think they actually have them.
Because they're very good at yielding and like you remove stoplights and stop signs and everyone makes it through.
And our traffic is set on E right now.
Yeah.
So when traffic gets hard, cars just disappear.
Okay.
Yes, automatic vehicle despawning.
Oh, when you like remove the roads.
No, no, the game itself is making our traffic flow easier. It's despawn. So if you watch some of our little cars or trucks will just poof and they'll be gone.
So if it gets too crowded, it says, okay, I'm going to make it easier for them because they're not very good at this game, as it turns out.
Hey, we're not killing our people yet.
No, we're not doing that.
When you get a sickness wave or a death wave, that's when you know you're like, oh, we're struggling.
Okay, so where are we at? We need more industry.
Yes, we do.
We need more commercial. And then lastly, we need more housing for everybody. Oh yeah, there's a little infill right there.
Golden A here. I do this. Ian hates it. The single square industry.
Yeah, no, it builds like little tanks, like little storage tanks. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think of the relationship that politicians have with their citizens?
They have a responsibility. Anyone in positions of, I wouldn't like focus on the authority so much, although it's a way to word it. But they
You
have.
just don't like the word. Is it you don't like the word authority?
I don't know. Yes, I guess they do, and but focusing on the word responsibility changes perhaps how they might think about their role as opposed to being an authority role. It's a role of responsibility. You could go one more square there. One more. Yes, you could, because if you go one more, it fills in that little gap.
It won't let me go one more.
Well, if you backed up, it will. No, now you can't do it. No, not that many squares. Like, if you delete that, then go forward. Watch this. And then go one more kick right there. Oh, that feels...
It just deleted the square back.
That's weird.
It's on an incline.
Okay. All right, so...
Oh, let's check. See, I didn't do it yet.
Well, we also need commercial, perhaps even more than this. So we're back to...
Yeah, we'll go back over here. Commercial, we talked about this, I think, but one of the problems with commercial is that you actually get more heavy traffic from commercial almost, I swear, than industry. And if you don't have it on the edges of your neighborhoods or where they get instant access, commercial yells at you.
I'm not saying to build it here.
Oh, where do you want to put it?
I think we have to put it over on the other side of the river, near where we have most of our well, wherever we have houses, we got to start adding some more industry. Commercial.
This is the idea that like people deserve to be able to get their groceries easy.
Yeah, for the same price as everyone else, without it costing an arm and a leg more.
This is where we talk about things like and I don't have personal experience in this, so I'm only let me declare that right up front. But the idea that what do they call that? Urban deserts?
Yeah.
Food deserts?
Mm-hmm.
Where there are inner city areas in America right now.
Yeah. Well, no, and let me say, it's not just like if you live out in the country, which I have, the commute to go shop for food can be a long commute, or you pay small shop prices and with very, very limited selection, which it's actually the same problem,
Okay.
right? Or no?
Yeah. I don't know. My understanding is that it's a similar problem, but in like urban environments, there really aren't grocery stores at all. Like it's basically more along the line of, and this is just from reading. Again, I just like to highlight it because I think people need to be more aware of this sort of thing that's going on. But that you have like a convenience store. So imagine going to like well, not the name brand it, but a convenience store, gas station style convenience store, and that's your grocery, the closest grocery store you have. Like you can get on a bus maybe, but even that, imagine getting on a bus and having to do your grocery shopping. Like how often do you have to grocery shop based on just the sheer idea of like how many bags you can carry?
Yeah, and it's harder for small markets. And they're not, I think they're not just convenience store markets, but bodegas, markets, different kinds of neighborhood stores have a harder time stocking a wide variety of fresh fruits and vegetables, for example. And if they do, they're probably at a premium. And it's harder to access the same foods you get at a regular grocery store, for sure.
And the prices, I still, okay, so this one I do have a little bit of experience with. So here in Japan, we have the military behind us, and we have an on-base grocery store, and they bring things in. Well, obviously, what the Japanese eat with fruits and vegetables is very different from what Americans eat. So here we are, a bunch of Americans in Japan trying to buy fruits and vegetables, and they're just not the same, and they're so overpriced. It is actually painful for me to buy fresh fruits and vegetables right now, and I sit in a position of privilege. I do, so I'm going to own that I won't even buy them. I buy frozen because right now I can't. For the simple fact that I just can't afford the fresh fruits and vegetables. Like, I was crying the other day because I got to, well, almost crying, happy crying, because I found these frozen mashed potato, pre-made, like cut and sliced mashed potato things, so that I could have mashed potatoes, because potatoes is one of the most expensive things you can buy here. They're almost $2 a potato.
Wow.
And I was like, mashed potatoes. I know that's a very privileged view, but I have to own that, like, that's kind of where I'm at. I can't even look at their apples and oranges, because those two are very expensive. And for some reason, the items that are locally sourced don't sell on base. So they don't carry them. Because Americans we're a little hesitant sometimes to try to.
Well, once you have access to stores off base, when there's a little less COVID going around, but one concept would be to go out and try some new things and eat locally, which is a whole nother thing that is good for us to do, is to modify our diets to local food.
I just don't eat fish, so I'm already at a disadvantage. I get real nauseous and it smells.
Yes, but we were talking about fruits and vegetables, not fish.
I know, but when you say local food, this is an island of fish. It's all seafood here.
Yes, but there has to be something other. I'm not.
They do. They have it, and there's amusing moments. So what? Here's another amusing moment. And there's an airman who just came in, married, and they're originally from Puerto Rico, so they're used to a certain kind of island living themselves.
Mm.
And they were like, "We need plantains." They had this.
Oh.
They're in their COVID quarantine, so they can't grocery shop. We need plantains. Commissary obviously doesn't give every plantain. And just getting that across, like, this is one of those things where, so often we tend to think that, like, the things that we think of as normal are no longer normal. And I think of that when I think of, like, those urban deserts, is I think, what people who have lived in the suburbs or people who have never experienced that kind of thing don't understand. The sad banana or the sad apples at the register might be the only food.
Mm-hmm.
Just something to bring up. Sorry. I
No.
digress and then building more commercials or go on.
I will say this: living out in the country, the fruits and vegetables at the local farmers market were actually affordable. It was the locally grown, raised meats that were tremendously expensive, because where I happen to live, they were growing like fancy grass-fed organic beef, and it was like $30+ a pound. And I was like, it was never going to happen.
So that brings up the question of labor. I'm being serious. That brings up the question of labor and the responsibility to pay a fair share for something. I mean, what do you think?
Well, in what
I know you
sense
have
with
opinion.
in what sense with the example of the grass-fed beef?
So the ranchers need to make a living, right?
Oh, they do.
So, like, that becomes the question. And I know
Yeah.
a lot of people have carbon footprint comments.
Well. So there's a easy answer to that is don't raise beef, because they're incredibly inefficient. I know a hamburger tastes really good, but from a water usage standpoint, you just can't do it.
Okay. So
And so the answer is yes, they're doing well. And what's the I don't know what the labor actually is on having a pasture full of cows where the grass grows naturally from rainfall, and when the cows get big enough, you send them to market.
So where you live, did it actually did the water flow naturally? I say that because I'm living in a wet place now, and like they don't have any.
Yeah, they were not watering their acreage.
So.
There was enough rain there.
Must have. Yeah, I think about like Texas.
Yeah, but you can't. But it doesn't work from a sustainability standpoint because you can only have so many cows on your acres and acres of organic pasture land. Because if you had enough cows to where you could actually feed a sizable number of people for a reasonable price, which is how we end up with factory farms, because we all like eating beef, and so that's where it all comes from. You can't put that many cows there. They'll eat all the grass, and then there's no food, and then they're not, pasture raised or grass fed free range cows. They're something different.
Okay.
So what they do is they raise very few cows and charge an arm and a leg for the meat. And beef is it takes like 500 gallons of water to raise 1 pound of beef. It's an incredible amount. It's the most inefficient protein there is.
See, and I know goats are much more efficient.
They are. They're very efficient.
And then I also know like chicken eggs.
Chicken meat or eggs is efficient, and then but chicken eggs are more efficient when they're like factory farm raised, and then you have issues with the ethical, consumption of food because you're raising them trapped in a little box, and it's complicated. There's no, like, if you want to feed the world, and it doesn't always work, and if you want to eat a paleo diet, you're making, yes, that may be how cavemen ate, but it's not really possible in an ethical manner in the modern world.
That's hard stuff right there. I would love to hear people's opinions on it, because this is, again, we're not giving you answers, we're giving you things that we actually consider as part of what it means to be a good person in the world, or what it means to be a person who's trying to be a good person. I'm checking my yields. Sorry.
I know. You're doing traffic management.
I shouldn't be. I'm sorry.
All right, well, where are our bars? Oh, they're equal. We can build whatever we want now because they're equal. We need.
Hold on, Eric. Go back over here and just check our industry for a second. So what we're doing is we're producing a raw item right now, and we're going.
Oh, we need a process. See, again, not in the vanilla PlayStation version.
It's not in the PlayStation version? Okay. So here's what we have: 2 raw ingredients, so to speak.
Yep.
And I'm going to make a little metal maker. So we're going to be able to make metals. Because actually, metals, for all their polluting qualities, metal is something we as human beings are now, modern human beings now, consider a necessity. You don't think we need metal, Eric?
It's been a necessity for a long time. That's why we have ages called the Copper Age, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age.
But that was based on their weapons. I'm talking about
But it was also their tools.
Tools, yeah, tools.
And tools outside of weapons, as it allowed, like, having harder and harder materials allowed them to till the soil more efficiently and chop down trees more efficiently.
The plow? A plow. Yeah. So this is, again, when we talk about our responsibility around industry, and maybe I go too deep. I'm a classic overthinker.
I have no comment.
No comment, okay. Do we want to put in housing, or do we want to stay in this nice, beautiful farmland?
No. I think we do all the housing along the river there, and then.
You want to put in a tiny neighborhood right here?
Yeah, and it'll be high density. We don't have high density housing yet, do we?
Not yet.
Is that like at 12,000? Oh, we're almost there. We don't have that much more to go. What about over on the other side of the river, just expanding that neighborhood just a touch, just to get us to 7,500, and then we go all out on building high rises on the other side of the river?
Y'all hear him? Y'all hear him messing with my neighbors with my flow, my
Yep.
green zone noise barrier?
But it's so big, they cannot hear it. They're like a mile away. Or 2 miles. Oh, well, it's because of the roundabout. I see a lot of space there where they would be unimpacted by noise.
I can go. How about this? I'll try to go about right here, and that's it. And then I'll show you. Well, I can go a little further, but I'll show you.
No, don't make it bad for them. Just a little bit more. We only have to get up to what are we at now? 6,900 people. Oh, that is so
I'm gonna
cool.
get rid of this road. We don't need it.
Okay.
So we'll go.
And then same thing. Exact same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Exact same. I'll check my water in a second, and then we're. Yeah, see, it's not too good.
I think with those three like blocks, we'll get up to 7,500. We'll be very
We're gonna do
close.
another sheet, as Eric likes to call them, and I like the flowers because I like the color.
Why is it like what? Oh, you're gonna do.
This is a mod. Because let me show you something. This is based on real science, which is why when you go through a city and they have all those trees near the highway,
Yes.
bam, we now are not going to make our people sick
Nice.
from here. But I won't go too crazy because you have a limited number of trees in the game. And this is a tree. It's called the forest brush. It's a mod.
Okay.
On Steam. Those of you who PC games. I don't know how mods work on the PC, Eric. It weirds me out.
You mean on the PlayStation?
Or on the PlayStation? Yeah, on the PlayStation. I don't know how that stuff works for you on the PlayStation.
You just download them.
Do you download? Can you use? Do you have?
Yeah, but well, for some games, like Skyrim, you can have as many mods as you want. For this game, it appears as though everything has been put into sellable packs on the PlayStation Store. So if there's ever a smoking good deal sale, I might buy them, or I might go to Steam, or if there's ever a humble bundle, I'll buy it. But
So as you see, I'm filling in the education. We had talked about this. I explained that one of the things I do with the last week. I explained that one of the things I do with these little groups on the end is I put in more education to made it the perfect shape.
Yep.
Or I put in the body, the crematoriums. I put in the things that the people need in these squares on the end.
Yeah.
I just feel like we are theoretically making enough money. Remember that money actually belongs to our people because it's tax money. So we are making enough taxable income to where I need to return that to the people. Eric's laughing.
I'm not laughing. Unlike in the real world, in the game, there is a direct consequence of not supporting the people with things that we don't see in the real world, I think.
Do you think so? Can you give me? I believe you. I just love a real world.
I don't know that like I would say the last election cycle and a half, we've been seeing more direct action from voters to do things. But I'm going to say that just because your local mayor, like you could have a mayor who's there forever, and that doesn't mean that they're always making good decisions. Just not enough people might vote in your town or city.
So because he's a beloved mayor.
As big enough fan base that always votes, maybe decisions aren't made with that responsibility in mind.
So how do you think people can look at changing that?
If everyone votes,
Okay.
like everyone has to vote, and that's the problem is not everybody votes.
Okay. I mean that's real. This is the thing.
There's you don't get kicked out of office in this game, but what you get is that your citizenry gets sick, they don't have jobs, and they leave, and then your game suffers. So that's the consequence. You still get to be mayor. You just your city's not as successful. But in the real world, that lack of success is actually built on the backs of human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're called, okay, so just to be clear, as as liberal theologians, we believe in democracy. Specifically, I adhere to a principle that actually calls for the democratic process in our churches, which for some of people who are watching this, that may or may not be new to you.
Well, if you're not a Congregationalist, which at this
Yeah.
point would be Unitarian Universalism or United Church of Christ.
There's a few other Congregational surviving churches. They just went a different way with this particular.
I think that they're the
they
two. These are the two
apply-
largest.
They apply an ethical lens to who gets to run. So they do kind of the same thing, but it's a little bit different. That's the whole deacon thing. But I don't want to get into that too much. But Congregational churches in general started out as fully democratic churches,
Hmm.
and it's a very American concept. This Congregational church thing.
Because it comes from the Puritans
Yep, the Cambridge, and then
and the Cambridge platform.
and the Cambridge platform.
There's videos about that on the internet, I've heard.
I'm so nerdy that I love this stuff. And it's still revolutionary in the sense that we believe our theology is calling us to live into a democracy, which means that we have like a theological grounding that should call us to vote. So I've heard recently in recent years that like, oh, you shouldn't vote, you vote this and that. And I would push back with, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Please continue to vote. Please be registered to vote. Because people forget what it means when you're registered to vote. And I just had this conversation not that long ago. My husband and I were watching an old movie, A Time to Kill. And he was like, I don't understand what they're trying to say about like why he's not represented juries or blah. And I said, whoa, jury pools come from registered voters. So this was like the crux of things like Selma and things like
Hmm.
some of the voter suppression. It's not even anymore, like it's not just about voting. Jury pools come from registered voters. So if people are prevented from registering to vote, or people choose not to register to vote because they're like, my vote doesn't count, suddenly you're no longer participating in any of our other interconnected systems that take care of people.
True.
So just something to keep in mind there. Sorry, that's a little off. I mean, we didn't get to, but this is related to the game in the sense that.
Well, let me just say the UU Fifth principle is about the democratic process, both in congregations and in society at large.
It is.
So that is not off topic. It's very UU of you to talk about voting.
Well, and I think about the way that things matter. I think about like I used to go to when I lived in tiny towns and big towns and medium towns. I went to county meetings. I went to the educational board meetings. I went to all these meetings because it mattered to me what they were doing with things like where are we getting our water, how are we governing, and I don't know if we talked about this last week with the Meth House project.
Yeah, I don't remember if you talked about it, but
Okay. Something, and it is related to the game, in the sense that like we don't in the game, crime is handled as black or white. Like there's bad or there's good. There's light or there's like in terms of like it's either good.
well, the meth houses though might be more equivalent to, because I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of how this game handles policing.
Yeah.
The meth houses are more equivalent to the pollution. It basically is moving pollution into residential neighborhoods if it existed in this game. The same pollution that's happening in the industrial sections. In fact, probably worse in many ways.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I don't even want to get into how they treat drug use. It's not criminal. Let's just say that I don't agree with that, and there's complicated things. But what was happening in this town that I lived in, which is why this came up, is if somebody rented a home and following all the laws of the land, they left the home renter alone, right? So they have all those laws that responsibility to clean up the meth house, and that they couldn't rent the home. But at the same time, simultaneously, the law stated that they couldn't check the homes while the people were living in them. It was very complicated and very awful. And in the end, there was a ton of homes in this town that I lived in that never got cleaned up and basically were a pollutant and an eyesore. And then were just extra dangerous because it was like an invitation to younger people to go and explore and have fun, as younger people are wont to sometimes do. Look at that boarded up house. What's going on inside there? I'm gonna go check it out. And I kind of went after this because it bothered me. So I'm sitting in these county meetings, and I remember meeting with county commissioners and meeting with city council people and state people because I was so frustrated that nobody was in the end going to clean these up because the landlords couldn't afford to do it. It just pissed me off. So, and there was grant money out there,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody could apply for them because they just kept putting more red tape in front of it.
Okay.
So I like wouldn't go away until we got like, it was like $500,000 to tear down for the next 7 months, which was not a ton of money. And I know that for like California and some of these other large cities, that's no money. But in this tiny town where I was living, that was a huge amount of money, and it cleaned up a bunch of the houses.
Well, demolition costs are a little different than rebuilding costs. You're talking about demolition costs.
In this case, that was the only option, but at least we had the conversation rather than, oh, I give up, and we're just going to let this toxic place sit here.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't blame the landlords either. This was just a horrible, twisted scenario where our system was failing people.
Yes. It was a horrible situation. But here's the thing. We're also playing a video game. And I don't have control of it. I've only been in City. See, now here, I can tell a really quick story, and I can't control the game. So please build some more houses so that we can get up to that 7,500 and start building, what are they called? The high-density housing in our new little strip of land on the other side of the river. The only thing I've ever done in government is, other than vote, I was on the Bicycle Advisory Council in Modesto, which was trying to become a more bicycle-friendly city. And I was the representative for the company I worked for. Since we were the largest employer in town. What do you mean? How did it work out?
Like, what did you guys talk about on your committee or on your...
We talked about installing those like green bike lanes that make it easier for cars to see where bicycles are going to be merging, and green space projects. Like, I think we talked about putting in a new trail system that connected the. Was it the two rivers? Well, there's a couple of rivers around there, and connecting the Dry Creek Trail system to the next riparian system with a set of bike trails, that kind of thing. That's it.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, I moved not that long after I joined, so I only went to like a handful of meetings, but we were not cleaning up meth houses, although that is a problem in rural California as well.
Is it a problem? I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
So Eric, I'm going to build the road while we're waiting for the population.
Nice, because we're almost there.
Do you have any recommendations here? I'm avoiding this green because you can see where the agriculture is.
Yes. However you want to build your neighborhood system. There's many ways to do it that work, and I'm newer to it. Like, I just started doing it in that particular playthrough. And now where are you going? Now that's the drunken road building.
He's yeah. So because this is high density housing, or I'm anticipating it being high density housing, there's a whole set of things that you can do. But you notice I went with a bigger road, and I also went with a road that had trees on it. This particular road in the game actually calls for you to have quiet the road.
You can use smaller roads to build your inset roads. You don't have to go whole hog, and that gives you more room for housing.
I was going to
Please.
frame it into this road.
Oh, I see.
So I was just trying to decide how I wanted to, like, how close to the water, where potential flooding might happen. You know what I mean?
I do. You worry a lot. Build in a floodplain. What does it matter?
I hope my people have flood insurance. This is where Eric was saying we might kill our people. Oh man, that's really close. There, and then you're right. The inset roads would be.
I've been doing 2-lane roads on insets everywhere, and it seems to work out as long as I don't have too many intersections.
Intersections in this game, man.
Oh, I wouldn't build across this. I might. Oh, you could alternate. So you build one inset on one side, and then the next inset on the other, or you could do that straight down the middle.
I could do kind of down the middle. It cuts up 1 or 2 cells off of each, but it's fine. Like, it's kind of a cute little. Like,
Well, that's why you build. That's why you build on a grid system. Just saying.
Yeah. And.
I think you would be safe given the. Oh, but that's too close.
It doesn't want to, like, there. It doesn't want to.
You're awfully close to that other intersection there.
I know.
So you don't. You could just go straight down the middle and connect to the other side in the middle, and then build 2 little feeder roads in the green, the empty spaces. No. Go straight to the end. I'm saying connect. We're gonna make a through road the whole way.
What I could put here is, like, the
There.
school
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
or the hospital.
Yeah.
Because you have the bigger footprint buildings that won't.
They'll take up that space. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what we'll do probably. Look at us.
7,458. Oh, we need electricity and water before we hit that 7,500 mark.
Yeah, we're so close. I hope we didn't get too serious today. I feel like I got a little serious talking about that.
You got a little bit serious talking about meth houses.
I think they're serious. I know right now there's a lot of people, a lot of organizations, and a lot of groups that are dealing with them across the nation. If we're not talking about it, who's gonna help these communities?
Well, apparently our Let's Play channel is going to do it.
Well, I'm gonna talk about it. I'll feel judged.
It's okay. Oh, we need some on ramps and off ramps.
On ramps and off ramps. Right hand drive. Right hand drive. Right hand drive.
You can also connect to that off ramp that's already there, and just loop it around the other way. That's what. Oh, it's efficient.
It causes traffic. Well, okay. So there's a couple things. One, if I just go from here to here, like that kind of thing, it's just to the other neighborhood.
No, I'm talking about the off ramp, not the on ramp.
Oh, you mean right here?
I would start a little further in. Yeah, like that, basically.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah. When it splits, when it Ys, it's a lot easier on traffic than when it merges.
Yep. And we'll do like that for now.
Yeah. And now we need to get them to the other side of the highway too somehow.
Yep. What are those things called?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a Muppet.
Yeah, I figured it was some kind of Muppet thing you were doing.
Making fun of me. So this is where my spouse and everybody makes fun of my drunk roads because I just put them where they fit.
Where are you going? It's entering the freeway the wrong direction.
Oh, did I do the right hand, left hand thing?
Yes.
On that left hand sitting? No.
Yes.
It's gonna turn right.
But they're going to have to make a hard right
No, I'm
onto...
gonna fix it.
Oh, you're going to fix it. Okay.
Watch.
You got fixin' powers. PlayStation doesn't have fixin'.
Oh. See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
I was like, no, it's the right side.
Well, it is the correct side. It was the wrong door. Never mind. 7485.
We're so close.
We need one more on-ramp or off-ramp. We need an off-ramp from the other side of the freeway.
We do.
Don't worry about those yet. Get us an off-ramp. We're almost there. 7495.
Eric.
I can't.
Breathe.
This live stream has to end eventually.
Yes. We're probably almost done today, but you're right. And
Where is that going? You're going to fix it. I get it. You're going to fix it.
No, I was going to just take it back, but
That's no. It's the wrong way. Now it really is the wrong way.
oh man. I have brain moments. This is what happens. Don't build a left-hand drive, people. It will mess with you. I'm not even joking. Oh man. I shouldn't have put the power there.
Well, you can move the power
I can.
or make the highway go really tall
I'll fix the power.
because we haven't built any houses. I see where it can merge. You can
I
merge.
see it. I just don't like it.
No, don't. No. Have it go over. Have it go over and to the right and merge
Oh, Eric.
somewhere else. Or have it go.
I can sense Ian making fun of you making highways. Why are they going so high?
There doesn't seem to be any issue with that in the game, though.
No, there isn't.
No, it's too steep.
Funny. Hold on. It is too steep. Let me fix it.
I was going to say you could curve it back around to the left over the power lines and have it merge into the main street there away from the other on-ramps and off-ramps.
Oh,
Get what I'm saying? Yeah, there we go.
I think I get what you're saying. So you're saying that you want me to keep drawing.
No, I'm saying delete it. Yeah, I think that's the healthiest way to get like traffic in without causing a merger on that short road at the top.
How about over here?
Okay, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Okay. Sometimes the best way to do this is to
Backwards.
come at it from another, especially if we're going to be going over other roads like crazy.
I think you're gonna have to stop your build. Yeah, there you go. Nope, other side. Oh, there it worked.
Yep, but hold on. Hold on, now we gotta connect them and then we'll figure it out from there. Because I gotta change the direction.
Yep. That was it.
Ah, biscuits. There we go. Now let me change the direction of these. And then we can adjust the curves. And the curves do matter, sadly, in the game from a traffic perspective. But you think about highways and you think about that kind of stuff, and it does make sense. No highways like hard angle because we don't have to slow way down, right?
Yes.
It's not pretty, but it works.
It's perfect.
Aw, Eric's so confident. Alright, we're gonna put in some high density housing. And I would like to apologize. Last week I described apartments in a derogatory way. I didn't mean it. I meant that some apartments are nasty, which is why I was confused why in the game high density housing and high density stuff is considered to be like the higher tax. And it's not about percentages. The implication is that they're nicer, and I'm like, I don't understand how they're nicer.
Well, there's two things going on. Actually, no, it isn't. In the game, both low density and high density housing can achieve level 5, which is the highest property value in the game. That affects the taxes. What also affects the taxes are the number of people who live there because you get taxed essentially on a per unit basis. So low density housing is one or two or a small building, either a single family home or small apartment building. So no matter what level it is in terms of property value, there's less people who live there. High density housing has more people living in it. So you get more money no matter what because you're being paid taxes on a per unit basis. But at high value, yes, you make far more money because you have more people living in a high rise and it's worth more money. It's you get the level 5 taxes.
Okay.
So it's a yes and.
That makes sense. So I'm gonna put in our services, which is what we just decided to call all this hot messy stuff. That is the fire department, the services now in our new neighborhood, and then we're gonna put in our education. Which just put here, because we talked about that. We're almost done for the day.
Oh, this is going to be a short one. Only 90
Well-
minutes or so.
Well, because we get off on tangents, and at the end of the day, I hope people enjoy our tangents, and I hope they comment on our stuff.
And next week, we're not going to live stream. Or we are going to live stream. But we're going to do it in the moment. We're not going to do it as a pre-set up live stream because we apparently don't know how to connect Zoom and OBS to the YouTube live stream. We're live streaming. We connected. I'm running OBS and connecting the live stream via Zoom. But it's not the right live stream. It's the wrong live stream.
Somehow, for some reason, it's not working.
Oh, look at those. Now our city will just start going nuts. So what's going to happen? We need some commercial. Can you mix some commercial in there? High density commercial?
So here's the problem with mixing high density commercial and high density residential.
What?
According to the presets of the game, high density commercial causes too much noise and will actually kill your people.
I thought it was only with low density residential that it did that.
No, it's high density too. So you have to put in a buffer. What I typically put in as a buffer is offices.
I don't think that's. I don't.
Eric, I could show you lots of dead people in my previous cities.
That could be for many reasons.
No, they start off wearing these earmuffs and then it flashes above their house, like, oh gosh, oh. And then they have the sick logo, which is then the thermometer.
Is that what the earmuffs are?
Yes, they're complaining about being too close to noise. So what you gotta do is you gotta kind of plan ahead. So what I kind of screwed up already as far as this goes. So we're gonna just do a band-aid. And my band-aid is that we're gonna put our commercial over here. So our high density commercial will be over here. And then the way that you do it, and it makes sense when you think about it. If that's the real world, that people are, it's so noisy they can't sleep. And we both know that
But what's going to go in between?
offices.
Oh, you're using offices as a buffer. Okay.
Because offices generate no noise. So if you do it like that, and then you can start your residential back over here,
Yeah.
you're good to go. But here's the thought on it. Here's the
Maybe you could put a bouncy house in. That should do it. Let the kids play in the bouncy house near the noisy stuff.
But it won't. It still doesn't buffer it too much. It's still.
Well, it's a distance thing.
Yeah. It's
Are you saying office buildings actually tamp down?
That's because they're considered to be noise blank space. Look.
So a bouncy house is not.
We have no commercial built yet, so I can't really show you. But
Okay.
this building. Look, see this office building.
Are we in noise? Okay. Yeah, let's just wait. It'll be built. Here, keep doing other stuff and we'll go back to it and then you can show me.
So I put in a bouncy castle for property value purposes anyway. See if people are jumping on it. They're like, yay! Let's build our house right next to it because we want good property values. Because people like that idea. Not, I understand property values, but I'm not a person who's that deep into. Oh, biscuits. Hold on. We're just gonna do this because it's easier right now. Because I was explaining before paying attention. My mistake.
Yeah.
PowerPoint. So here we are. We have this high density commercial, and we have office right across from it.
Yeah.
So this guy's probably going to complain in a minute because that's residential. So I'm going to have to rezone that. Or no, that's an office too. Thank goodness I thought about it properly. We'll have to check in a second. But you see how these offices are white, Eric? Like
Yeah.
completely blank, no noise? Well, that puts the buffer in so that this area here, which is still red,
Are you? So what? Go ahead. Go ahead.
it gives just enough space to where the people aren't going to complain. If your people live within any of these bars, like they can live on this outer very, very.
Okay. So yes, what I'm asking is the area smaller? The overall area smaller? It doesn't look like it. It's not smaller. So you could. What I'm saying is you could put bouncy houses there too.
You could, yeah, a park would work,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be, it's not going to make it less noise. That's what I'm saying.
But those aren't making it less noise.
No.
They're just they're a zone, a buffer zone, not a physical buffer.
Yeah,
I'm just trying, because I'm trying to build good cities too. So I'm trying to understand this.
Oh, okay. Low density commercial does not offer that same noise. That's like your neighborhood markets.
Right.
That's
No, no, I'm with you.
and I've often wondered if the organic markets make noise, but I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet.
What do you mean the organic markets?
Oh, I bought the green expansion,
Yeah.
which means that I can zone a commercial area local and organic produce. And all the hipsters you may all go through. I'm not judging hipsters. I love hipsters. I'm just saying I joke about that. But it's they don't do trucks. They don't do basically it's
So
the
truck traffic is reduced.
hmm
They use more electricity.
local yeah
Reduces
local food.
garbage. Okay.
It's just a type of zone you can make, but you have to district it
Ah.
because they only like to live with other people like them.
Okay.
It's fine. That's the game. That's not me saying that. That's how the game makes it. So it's just this funny thing. So yeah, high density. Woo, 7,500 and some serious talks about way too much today. Is there anything else you want to do today on the city? I can tell you that I think Eric and I are going to do some traffic management. We'll probably finish this neighborhood before we live stream again. Is there anything you want to do today, Eric, before we leave? Oh, I'm going to place a big park. The other thing I do when I have roads situate, if I can, that was
You cannot. Yeah, it's not
not
good.
that one.
Oh, that'll fit.
Mm-hmm.
Can you
These
put it
are
at
typically with these places that I perhaps
there?
made a little bit funny angle, is I like to put in an extra park because my citizens deserve them.
Yeah.
So I'll put in a slightly bigger park.
I don't put in parks anymore. I just do bouncy houses.
The bouncy house is the best park,
I know.
but I So something else to keep in mind, the Million City guy the first guy who made million people population, he had a mathematical thing that was really cool around offices and commercial and residential. So these people didn't actually have to commute; they all walked to work because they all worked in offices. Very unrealistic in real life, but it is nice that the idea that we could all walk to work. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be awesome.
Fantasyland, but it would be neat. I think it would be cool to only have to walk to work.
Or bike.
Or bike. Yeah, you can put the other thing I've done in some of my cities for fun is I can drop an office anywhere. So I can literally be like, oh, you know what, let's put some offices here. Right? And people tend to like them. Like the little city people tend to like the offices kind of interspersed. Which I'm curious, what do you think that like I think about like the dental offices or like
Well, true mixed use is not siloed buildings that only do one thing. True mixed use is you have retail on the ground floor and other things above it, including apartments. And that's true in existing big cities like New York, Manhattan, or whatever, but it's actually pretty rare here in California.
is it
Yeah, but they're building more and more stuff like that where you can live in the same neighborhood where you go out to eat. Although I would say, like, they did it in San Jose, but it was all high-end restaurants and shops on the ground floor, like really high-end, and then very expensive apartments above it. And in big cities, you end up with the real deal, which is like big, dense cities. First floor is stores because you have to do that, and in between the stores, there's a doorway, and that doorway is a walk up to, wherever.
that's how it is here in in Okinawa. I mean obviously Tokyo since our mainland Japan
Mhm.
is got very different everywhere's a little different. But here in Okinawa we have a lot of like you'll have a first floor something, and then you'll have a second story restaurant. And they've been struggling a lot with COVID, and like we can eat outside. So any of them that have patios and retrofits,
But what do you do if you're a second floor restaurant?
and
There
they
is no
put a
patio.
patio or
It,
balcony.
yeah.
Yeah. So when we were able to eat out in town, for a little while, one of the best things that I discovered was these little second story restaurants that watch the ocean. It was great. It was awesome.
Soon enough.
Hopefully.
California opens up in just over a month.
Woo! So, last words before we go. I'm sure Eric and I are going to work on traffic and on public transport for our city because these people deserve buses. And I don't want you guys to sit through me food in restaurants. I'll sit down.
No, maybe we should build it up to a certain point to where we're not just building stuff next time.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot more to have a conversation on. We had originally scheduled to do 4 of these for City Skylines, and if you have comments or things that you think we should consider, we'll do that, and then we will move on to another game. I'm thinking Minecraft could be possible for our next game.
Minecraft might be a good ongoing one that is played out of sync with the rest of them because it is like a sandbox. It's just a little different.
Okay.
Because it's also multiplayer in the world, and what people are going to see is the perspective of the players, not us sitting here talking. So we'll be talking as our avatars. Steve. And Steve. And Steve. That's Steve. They're all Steve. Unless you change your skin. But yeah, but another game, if we want to be a little rowdy, might be on the PS4. We could play the Saviors Gang.
I will. That's the one where Eric will play it, and I will sit.
Yeah. The gameplay itself is not funny, but the cell phone conversations that the Savior has with his dad and stepdad are quite amusing.
We'll have a few.
We have lots of games, as it turns out.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton.
We'll talk about it offline, and we'll start proposing them over the next on the channel somewhere, or
Yeah, either on our Facebook page or on maybe somewhere on the YouTube channel. We'll post as well. Like, what do you think of this? I would love
Yep.
But let me stop screen share.
Wait! Don't stop yet. Oh, we're gonna. Well, okay.
So we can say goodbye.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Thank you all.
Ending stream now.